Hello, it's Terry with CU Bands and Fans podcast, where musicians tell their story. However, our guest tonight is John Peeler, who is not a musician, but he knows a lot about music and in the music community. And he also does a lot of fundraisers with musicians. Welcome my co-host, of course, Zach Woodham. And so here we go. John, where are you from?
So I'm originally from Salisbury, North Carolina, down in a holler, if you will, and moved here in 1979. And right now I preside in Newman, Illinois, right outside of Newman in Douglas County.
I did not know you were in Newman.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I got about 4 acres out here, a little micro farm, I call it. And yeah, a little slice of heaven, I guess, right?
Yeah, nice. I've got family in Newman.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, very cool. Uh, okay, so like, how did you get, like, first of all, you are a marathon runner. Um,
Uh, I try.
yeah, you have entered a lot of marathons. Most recently, the one that you did at the towers in New
Yes,
York.
ma'am. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm training for that right now, Terry. We just finished up the marathon weekend in Champaign. I ran Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, which was really awesome because I got to see my buddy Jimmy Beam sing the anthem on Thursday.
Nice.
I got to see Lexi sing the anthem on Friday night, and then I got to watch Tommy G do Jimi Hendrix style national anthem on Saturday. So that was awesome. But yeah, that's over. So I'm training right now to go to New York June 1st. I'm going to climb One World Trade Center for Tunnel to Towers. It's 104 floors, 2,262 stairs.
How do you train for that?
So I go to a gym here in Tuscola, Rally Point Fitness. It's for first responders, active duty, veterans, families of same, and they have a stairmaster there. So me and about three other people are the only folks that really get on that piece of equipment. So I train there. I do all my leg work there, all my stair climbing there. And then I go to some smaller events that 36 floors, 40 floors, stuff like that around Indianapolis, Chicago, Bourbonnais, that kind of thing. I've been to the U of I, to the Memorial Stadium, and went up and down stairs there when on the off season. That kind of helps too. So, yep.
Is it, and when is this, June 1st?
Yes, June 1st. Yes, ma'am. I'll fly out Saturday. I'm staying at a Hilton. I always stay, make sure they have a treadmill. So once I get in and get all my registration done, I'll run a couple miles on the treadmill and then eat some bananas, go to sleep. Get up in the morning on Sunday and have at it.
So, I what like how long have you been doing this? And I understand definitely why you would do this, the tower
Sure,
um
sure.
and but how long have you what piqued your interest to go, I'm gonna run and I'm gonna run some marathons and then
Yeah. So in the service, my MOS was it required me to have a certain amount of physical fitness, and then all my life I've got a B license for skydiving. I ride Harleys, raced a few cars, built houses, framed houses. So all my life I've been pretty active, done a lot of cool stuff. I always say, you dance so long and the band wants paid, right? So just shot my knees. They were just gone. And so 2.5 years ago, yes, ma'am, this would be my third summer. I had knee replacements done. And in order for me to go to work, I had to walk a mile on the treadmill. And I got it done, and it took about 18 minutes. And the therapist said, "Well, good enough." And I said, "Not good enough." And I just kept going. And then I wanted to see how fast I could go. And then I don't know, almost like a Forrest Gump thing, right? I started running and running and running. Uh, but it's really good, healthy. I'm down about 54 pounds. Feel a lot better. Uh, just just feel great, right? Second lease on life. So I keep it going, and I try to run every event I do. It's always for some kind of charitable organization, from cancer to children's diseases to folks that have breathing problems to heart conditions to there in New York, it's all about 9/11 and the people that never came home that day, veterans, just anything I can do to better my life while I help somebody better theirs. So that's how I
So,
get. That's how I go.
so you began this after knee replacement.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct. Yes.
So unusual, I would think. That's so unusual.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, keep in mind, I call it running, but my doctor says no running and no jumping off anything taller than 18 inches. So I've learned to walk really fast. I watch a lot of podcasts and a lot of training videos from people that are speed walkers. One is a lady; she's a world record holder. So I watch that and go out and practice that. So I'm able to just last at the marathon, I did a 10K Saturday morning, and I was able to do 6 miles right at 12 minutes a mile. So I finished right at about 73 minutes. So pretty quick walking pace. So I feel good about that. So yeah,
Well, yeah, it's kind of like running. I mean,
sure, it
really, I
is.
mean, that fast of a pace. Uh,
Yeah, it feels like I'm running. That's for sure.
But you do a lot of good work in our community, and we're extremely grateful for it. I know that you helped head up the event that they held for me when I had been diagnosed with breast cancer and some head issues, and it was I mean, outstanding. Just the fundraisers that you do or involved in are truly outstanding. I mean, they're high quality fundraisers.
Well, yeah, I mean, so I just believe, if you're blessed, you should bless other people, right? Be a good steward of what you've been given, right? Because and that's what I try to do, and I try to remember that whatever you have in life, it's just an eye flash away from not being there, right? So, I'm thankful I can run. There's a lot of people that can't run. I'm happy that I can do fundraisers and things. I have a lot of friends that are so talented in music, and friends that are talented in leatherworking and welding and making all kinds of cool stuff. And I said, man, I wish I could do something like that and help people. And I was going to some auctions, and I noticed that they were having people do the auction that had a good heart, but they weren't necessarily the auction guy, right? They were the sheriff or the mayor or the principal of the school. And, I said, man, maybe that's what I can do. So I took some classes out of Tennessee and learned how to be an auctioneer. So that's what I do. And when I'm not auctioneering an event, I'm always up for donating stuff. I've I've been really blessed. I've met so many cool people. It's just crazy. I was thinking about trying to find a couple things to show, oh, look at this, look at that. But I just have a lot, so I meet people, Ted Nugent, Tommy Shaw, I mean, Ricky Skaggs, Trace Atkins. I mean, it just goes on and on, right? And I get picture with them. So I've always got that. And I'll get them to sign like a guitar or an album or, something like that. Brett Favre signed a couple helmets for me, and I have fun and I remember that. But then I donate that stuff for people to, use in their auctions and their charities to help raise funds for people. I'm always ready to help children, especially, and then folks that have some kind of disease or need some kind of surgery to help their self have a better life. And yeah, I'm always ready to help veterans. That's for sure.
Yeah, and so you are a veteran,
Yes, ma'am.
obviously. And you've got, and I don't know how you did this, but God bless you. You have Creed Fisher coming in at the City Center
Yes,
uh,
ma'am.
Saturday the 17th. And
Yes, ma'am.
uh, I can't remember who do you have opening for him?
Okay, so Lexi is going to start the night off singing the anthem a cappella. Uh, and matter of fact, I was on the radio this morning, help promoting this event, and I told Brian Barnhart that I had first heard Lexi sing 2 years ago in Muhammad, because I am a veteran. I love my country. Anytime I hear the anthem, I stand because I can, and I stand at attention. And if there's a flag, I salute the flag. Right. So I was standing at attention, and that young lady started singing the national anthem. And by the time she was done, I was in tears. Right. So I met her that evening, and I asked her to sing at my birthday, and she said she'd do that for free. And I said, no, I'll pay you something. I said, can't do everything for free. And she said, well, I'll sing the anthem for free because I'm an American.
Yeah,
And it just
right
touched
on.
my heart, right? So she's going to kick it off for me. And then Dusty Lay, he's coming out of Nashville. He's a recording artist. He's doing some dates here and there with Creed. He's another great act. It's just going to be awesome. And then Creed, he hasn't been here in this area. A lot of people might not know him, but he's just honest. He's a veteran, Army vet, and he's just honest, grassroots, blue collar country. Slide guitar, just everything. Waylon Jennings, Hank Jr., that kind of country. And he sings about working hard and taking care of your family and helping people and loving your country. So it's a great fit, right?
Yeah, he when they announced that, when the city center announced it, um, it was, I mean, my message box just blew up like, hey, do you know who's opening for him? Or hey, Creed Fisher's I mean, it was, so he is known,
Yes,
definitely.
ma'am.
I
Yes,
mean,
ma'am.
um, and I'm excited. I get to be there to capture it. So thank you so much for asking me.
Oh,
And
yes, ma'am.
so what do you need for this? Do you need anything? How do you gain the support for this? I see
Okay.
you got a lot of sponsors, I know, for this one.
Yeah. So I couldn't decide what I was going to show, what I wasn't going to show. So I just said I'm not going to show anything. Terry knows what she's doing. We'll just talk, right? But I do have this poster, and I want everybody to see this. That's for sure.
Yes.
So
Look
if
at
you
all those
can,
sponsors. Let's name them off.
okay, yeah. So I got Cake Pops by Kara. I got Tapman's Towing. I got Stan Freeze. I've got Old Winston. I got Red's Mufflers. I got you, of course. I've got Freedom Roofing, Star Limousine, Buford's. I've got Pepsi Cola, and I've actually got two new sponsors since we printed this flyer. I have the Regulators Motorcycle Club.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
and then I have two private individuals, Dana and Eric. They donated and became gold sponsors as well, because they wanted to do something, right? They want to be a part of it. So I said, yeah, welcome aboard. So yeah, and then Kevin over at the city center, he's just been phenomenal, and
He's
it's just,
wonderful.
yeah, he truly is. And then, I'm able to fly this banner here. Uh, it's a proud supporter, tunnel to towers. Not such an easy thing to do, but I got that done. I wanted people to know it's important that you where you intend that money to go, that's where that money's going, 100%, right? And then to Danville at the VA hospital. So you know, I want to say this before I tell you what I need. Okay, so we are so blessed in this community. It is just beyond words the amount of choices we have every day of the week. Just look at CU bands and fans. Just look at all the musical talent. It is crazy, right? Okay, and not to mention, everything on campus and theater and just everything. So much less on the weekend, you know, how do you choose, right? There's just so many things, right? And I was talking to Tommy G, and I said, man, I'm trying to figure out when to do this where Creed's routable and I don't get in the way of somebody else's stuff. And Tom said, John, if you wait forever, you're never going to get it done. You just got to pick a weekend and
And
go
do it.
at it, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, right, there's so many choices. Here's what I need. I need people to remember that none of these choices would be available to us if it wasn't for men and women that make the choice to serve our country and keep us free. That
Amen.
that's the bottom line, right? There would be no Goldies, no Pippas, no '90s daughter, no ex crush, no Mabels, no Red Lion, no anything, right? If those brave young men and women don't go out and make the choice to protect our country. So here's what I need. I need people to come buy a ticket, make a choice, support veterans. It's 3 hours. Listen to some really good music, have a really good time, and know that half of that ticket money is going to the Danville VA hospital, and half of that money is going to homeless veterans through Tunnel to Towers. And a, a crazy, crazy statistic is there's over 32,000 homeless veterans in America.
I did not know.
32,000. 32,000 homeless veterans. And 19,000 of those veterans that are homeless are 100% shelterless. They have not a car, not a tent, not anything. So they're sleeping on benches and they're sleeping, in parks or what have you, and they go untreated for things that they need help with because of their situation, right? And you go to the VA hospital, and the VA does the best they can with what they have, right? But just the basic needs that those guys need, socks, t-shirts, underwear, deodorant, toothpaste, phone cards, you know, uh, two 20 ounce or 2 liter bottles of soda, Zuzus and Wham Whams is what I call them, little Debbie's cakes, little bags of potato chips, mouthwash, deodorant, just combs, razors, just those things, right? And we can help these folks, right? And we can help these veterans, and show them we care. And remember, if it wasn't for them, we'd have none of this. So, you know, uh, just make a choice and come and have a really good time, and know when you leave, hey, I made a difference, right? I made a difference. That's what I need. Because the community, the businesses have just been outstanding, Terry. I haven't asked anybody that said no. You know, everybody I asked, yep, sure. What do you need? Right? I'm with it. So now I just need individuals come through the gate, have a good time, support veterans. That's what we need.
Are you also going to have an auction there?
Yes, ma'am. So that's the cool thing. So, I'm trying to like walk the tightrope, right? I helped do the auction a little bit this year at Red Hot Winter. That was something crazy. Like Rod Sickler is just that's just crazy,
Another,
right?
yeah.
But he is phenomenal guy, right? And I learned a lot from him. I worked, with Mike Niemoff during that whole thing, and so I've learned some things, and so I want to mix in a couple silent auctions while the show's going on. but I don't want to take away from the show, right? Uh, but I have 8 silent auction items that are just really phenomenal, right? I got a signed jersey from Jim McMahon. I got a hold of John Rich, and he sent me some Redneck Riviera whiskey and some shot glasses. It says "We the People" on them, and I've got uh, I've got these crests for the armed forces, one for Air Force, Navy, Army, Marines that are all handmade. I've got this big American flag that's handmade out of wood. That's a waving American flag. I've got an American flag that was donated to me from the 9/11 memorial folks in New York with a certificate to prove that that's where it was flown, and they shipped that to me and donated it so I can sell it, right. Creed Fisher's going to sign me a guitar, so I can sell that. Uh, I'm involved with Flex and Gate. I've worked there for a long time, so they gave me some really good tickets, 4 tickets to go see the Jaguars play the Colts in Indianapolis next year. Yeah, it's just really cool. So I think it's going to be great. I've had a couple people, message me and said, "Don't silent auction that flag. Sell that flag live. We want some action. We want some action." So I might just do that, squeeze that in real fast before Creed comes out. But we printed some very limited edition T-shirts. I printed about 100 because I didn't want to tie that money up. That could be used to donate, right? And so out of those 100 I've printed, I've already sold 50, and we haven't even opened the door. So I've got that. I've got some little wristbands that we had made. Yeah, it's just going to be a good time, Terry, and help a lot of good people.
What time the doors open?
6 o'clock. Music starts at 7:30.
Okay. And also when you told me about that flag, I almost burst into tears. Like hang
Yeah,
on.
that's something like you're not going to just go get that, right? That's a really cool thing to have.
Yeah, that's it's so meaningful. But all that you're doing is super meaningful. We've got to wrap this up, but I want to thank you first of all for just everything that you do and the passion that you have. Obviously, very passionate about doing this. And so, John Peeler, ladies and gentlemen, someone you should know. And let's see you at the Creed Fisher uh, concert fundraiser Saturday, the 17th. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Get your tickets at citycenterchampaign.com. Or where can they get them at the door, John?
Yes, you can walk up. We can get you in that night. Yes, ma'am. Not a problem.
All right, folks, we're looking forward to seeing everybody. We're looking forward to raising a super boatload of money and helping our veterans out.
Thank you,
Awesome.
Terry. Thank you so
Our podcast is brought to you by Homegrown KIO, WKIO 105.5, every Sunday evening, 7 p.m. Homegrown KIO plays historic music, live music from Champaign-Urbana, and some current original artist music as well. Tune in Sundays, 7 p.m. WKIO 105.5 FM.